In Avengers Infinity War, one of the biggest surprises was the reveal of Red Skull. While it was great to see the character after 7 years, many people wondered why he was there. In this editorial, we hope to explore and hopefully answer that question, so let's review a few things before diving into the events of Infinity War. During the events of Captain America the First Avenger, Red Skull oversaw a Nazi deep science division called Hydra. Hydra in the MCU has a complicated history due to the changes from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but ignoring Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Red Skull was obsessed with mythology and lore, causing him to hunt down what he believed to be powerful relics. One of these relics was the Tesseract, which was later revealed to be the Space Stone. Before the reveal, it transported the skull across the galaxy to an unknown location, which made some people think he'd never return, or potentially had just been vaporized. However, he came back, existing on Vormir the entire time, but was changed to play the role of the Stonekeeper. Now, his role as the Stonekeeper was interesting for a few reasons. The first reason, because from his dialogue, it gave the impression that all the stones have some sort of sentience. The Vision hinted at a shared sentience when he said he could feel Thanos' intentions ahead of time, and then knew when he or where the other stones were near. As the Stonekeeper, the skull was given immortality and the ability to levitate, but he was also cursed with not only guarding the Soul Stone, but knowing all that searched for the stone along with instructing the visitors. This is the second reason that Red Skull was interesting as the Stonekeeper, because he serves as an example of what can happen to someone pursuing the Infinity Stones out of a lust for power. Red Skull almost serves as an immortal warning to all beings, basically not to seek such power besides for a righteous purpose, which it seemed that the Infinity Stones deemed that Thanos' quest was. And I say that not because Thanos was correct, but because Thanos believed what he was doing was for the greater good, and thus he wasn't seeking the Infinity Stones out of lust for power, just as a means to conquer. Now, something that didn't sit right with me was how many other individuals have held Infinity Stones in the past and simply died instead of being converted into a Stonekeeper. So, what made Red Skull so special? We know that Odin previously used the Space Stone, and it was likely to aid in his conquest of the Nine Realms. That's a lot worse than Red Skull, considering during this period, according to Hela, Odin wasn't yet the benevolent ruler he became. Compared to Odin, Red Skull was barely abusing the power of the Space Stone. In-universe, I'd like to believe it had to do with the sentience among the Infinity Stones. It's possible, just like the Soul Stone communicated with the Space Stone to send Red Skull to Vormir, it communicated with another stone. That Infinity Stone would be the Time Stone. From what we know about Avengers 4, we understand the Avengers will be traveling throughout time and space. This goes with a rumor that the Avengers, primarily Iron Man and Captain America, are traveling to different points to collect Infinity Stones before Thanos ever had them to create a new Infinity Gauntlet. Understanding the events of the future, Red Skull may be the perfect Stonekeeper in the event someone like Captain America journeys to Vormir for the Soul Stone. It would make sense that the Infinity Stones could see such a future event potentially happening, as this assumes everything in Avengers 4 is simply the timeline Doctor Strange saw when he glanced over 14 million futures. The big question here is, what would Captain America sacrifice? We don't know much about his inner thoughts and feelings, which is something Tony Stark points out in Avengers Age of Ultron. It's worth noting the actor that portrayed Red Skull in Infinity War was ambiguous regarding if he'll appear in Avengers 4, and Red Skull is a big name to just give a one-and-done cameo, considering they could have just left him assumed dead as he was until the Vormir scene. In my opinion, I would have preferred a reveal of Death as the Keeper of the Soul Stone. I feel like it would have been a great reveal for fans, while also being a concept not too difficult to explain for the general audience. But what do you think? Comment below with your thoughts, and we'll see you guys next time.